Yeah, that's hilarious.
Hey everyone, welcome to something completely different. Well, for me anyway. Today we're going to be looking at Prey. Yeah, you might have heard of this game. Prey was developed by Arcane Studios, the guys that made Dishonored, and Dishonored 2, and the Dishonored DLC. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Prey is a game that's most similar to games like Bioshock or Deus Ex, you know? You walk around, pick up audio logs, listen to them, and then you finish the game at some point. What makes Prey interesting to me is that it just didn't do that well. It sold kinda poorly actually and had some bad ratings. Well, that's not too weird in itself, but usually when this happens, everyone laughs at the people behind it, like with Anthem or Lawbreakers. This game wasn't funny, it was just kinda sad. That, or people haven't even heard of the game. But despite all this, I think this game is worth your attention. It has amazing art, an interesting story and setting, and tons of polish. Mostly. I'm almost surprised this game wasn't one of the best games of all time. I feel like it had everything. So if this game seemingly had everything it needed to be one of the best games ever, why wasn't it? The name. Yeah, the first problem with this game is that they called it Prey. Why is that a problem? See, there was this game in 2006 called Prey. You might have heard of it. It's a first-person shooter where you fight aliens. Does that sound familiar to you? Well, it's because it's pretty much this game, except it's not. See, Prey 2017 was a complete reimagining of Prey 2006, and they share nothing in common besides the fact that it's a first-person shooter where you fight aliens. They kinda scrapped the entire story. So this original Prey game was meant to have a sequel, right? Well, it never came out. Fans waited for years, but it eventually got delayed. In fact, they waited for over 6 years. And then somehow, 11 years later, Prey 2017 comes out, and it has nothing to do with Prey 2006. So yeah, some people were kind of upset about that. I never played the original game, so I don't really care, but I can understand why some people would be mad. So the game got off to a bad start. And the real question is it good? Well, let's find out. So you start off in your apartment not really doing anything interesting. I love this part because it makes everyone wonder what the hell they just bought. It feels more like a first-person Sims game than an FPS. You wander through your apartment, go to the roof, and ride a helicopter to work, similar to how real life works. Eventually you get to work and meet your brother Alex. I should probably mention that Alex and you actually own the company that you're working at. You're not just some low-ranked employee. You're actually the guy who calls the shots at this place. So naturally they have you do some weird tests. Tests are these weird, oddly simple tasks, like moving boxes off a red circle as fast as you can, hitting a button as fast as you can, or hiding behind a chair. And no matter what you do though, the people watching you will think you're weird. I think this is a great metaphor for social anxiety. No matter how well you do, you still feel like you did it wrong. Now how could pushing a box be weird, huh? How else would you do it? What's going on here, guys? Well, something must be going on, because this guy's coffee cup turns into an alien and stabs him to death. It's kind of unlucky. I wouldn't have expected that either. So then you get gassed for some reason and wake up in your apartment again, like nothing ever happened. It's kind of weird. Well, at least everything looks the same. Oh, no. That lady definitely wasn't dead before. You find a wrench and break your apartment window only to find out that there is no apartment. It's all fake. And the scientists have been studying your every move. Then January, some mysterious dude talking to you starts telling you how to survive. You discover that there was no helicopter ride. And you find out that you weren't actually going anywhere either. It's just that the room layouts were changing. Everything you saw around you was using the looking glass technology. It's a screen that shows you something different depending on your perspective. I gotta say, this is one of the coolest effects I've ever seen in a game. I don't know how they did this. It really looks like there's a level past this glass, but there's not. So we walk around for a bit, kill a few alien spider things. Or a lot of alien spiders, and find our first neuromod. So the idea of neuromods are that someone in the past already had some sort of skill, and they had their brain scanned. You inject your brain through your eye with the neuromod. Oh god, I don't know if I would do that. Well, anyway. The neuromod changes a part of your brain to match theirs, which then gives you their skill. This is a really cool idea for skills like combat training or hacking. It actually seems kind of feasible. It does make a bit less sense that I can alter my brain so that I can lift heavier objects. I don't think that can ever happen. Also, wouldn't some neuromods conflict with each other? And why am I allowed to choose what I get from the neuromod? Should it just be a set thing? Oh well, I'm no scientist. Time to go through this door. After we get through the door, we find out that we are not even on Earth. We are aboard a giant space station called Talos 1. So I walk around for a bit and I find this guy. This is a phantom? Oh. Okay. This guy might be a bit hotter than the alien spiders I've been dealing with. So then we go to your office. This room is important because it's where they keep most of the story of Prey. You play a video on our computer because the nice robot voice tells us to. The video is of yourself, confirming that January is just you in a compact robot form. You also find out that if you remove a neuromod from someone, then their memory is reset to right before they installed it, which is why you don't remember anything. Hey, shut up, Morgan. I'm the one telling the story here. So before Morgan can tell us anything actually useful about our current situation, the awesome Looking Glass video is stopped by Alex. He can do a lot. He doesn't want you to see this video for some reason, but to be honest, I've played this game twice and I still don't know what he wants. He tells you to wait in your office so that he can come talk to you in person? Well, you can wait as long as you want, he will never come. But geez, Morgan, I guess you should have made that file on it before or something. This Looking Glass technology kinda screwed you. Also, I love how Alex says that he thought he already found all of Morgan's videos. What, you didn't think to look on his main PC in his office that only has one file apparently? I mean, look at this operating system. You thought Windows treated you like an idiot. You get email, file, and actions. That's it. I guess you can't play Prey in space. But really, how would you not find this? Alex is kinda dumb. So, I guess we have to go to the hardware labs now? See, I've been playing this game for like an hour, and January already has no idea what to do. He wanted to show me the video, but now he can't. He thinks that maybe you can just turn the video back on since that Looking Glass technology was invented there. I don't know. See, I'd think that the CEO's override would be more powerful than the guy who made it. If he even has an override, which we don't know. And January doesn't know either. He's just kinda hoping that there is. Listen how confident he is when he says this.
I suggest you search Dr. Calvino's workshop in the hardware labs. He invented the Looking Glass technology. You might find a way to restore the server connections there.
January doesn't know shit. He's just hoping that there's something there. He has no idea if there is. This game could have been an hour long if he was wrong. It's not like I can go anywhere else. So when we get to the hardware labs, we find two important things. The first one is the RTAX propulsion system. I thought it was a jetpack at first, but it's more of a thing that just lets you kind of glide, which is decent. But the most important part about it is that it lets you go into space, which is going to be pretty important for the rest of the game. So that's pretty nice to get. Anyway, we can't ask that lead scientist for help because he's dead, but we take his keycard, go into his office, and find the secret override switch, which, as it turns out, does exist. Will it work? Will it even be more powerful than the CEO's switch? Oh, it is. Alright then. I guess it's time to go back. Now to get back to my office and... Oh, wait, the hell was that? Purple phantoms? Why is that guy staring at a bookcase? These guys might be dumb. Let's take them out. Oh god! Why are there two of them? Alright, so this is the next tier of enemies. Already. This is the Ethereal Phantom. He splits into two, he's really fast, and he has like double the health of a normal one. Or more, I don't know. I just want to pause this for a sec to let you know that it took me 28 shots to kill this one guy. And I don't exactly have that much ammo either. Holy shit. I hope I don't run into another one soon. Now might be a good time to talk about the enemies in Prey. So this game as a whole has a huge learning curve. It doesn't start out too bad. These first few alien spider guys are pretty easy. In terms of a difficulty curve, I wouldn't say these guys are that hard at all. I'd say they're about the difficulty you'd expect when you start a new game. Then you get to harder enemies like the phantoms or the operators. These guys are quite a bit harder than the mimics. I wouldn't say that this is unbearably hard, but it's definitely a harder curve than most games. These guys are manageable if you think about your approach and plan things out carefully. Oh, and then we find the next tier of enemies, pretty much immediately right after the last tier. I mean, come on game, I've only been playing for 2 hours, why is this so hard? These guys come in all forms. You get guys that shoot electricity at you, or fire at you, and then you get other guys like the Weavers who fly around and shoot smaller radioactive aliens that explode when they hit you. Oh god. And there's like 6 other guys too that I'm not even mentioning, but they're nowhere near as important as the Nightmare. The scariest part about this guy is that you never know when he's gonna show up. He can be anywhere at any time. So here I am walking through an area I already cleared out when something spots me through like 6 different walls. That is the nightmare. Run. Run away and never look back. This is me entering the crew quarters for the first time, and here he is. The nightmare spawned right before my eyes. At this point in the game, I can't kill him, and also he punched me once in the back and I died. I tried to sneak past him next, and I even thought it was working at first. Now, I can't prove this, so you have to take my word for it, but he scared the shit out of me when I died. So yeah, the only thing I can do is head back to the previous level and wait for 3 minutes until he despawns. 3 minutes in real time. Yeah, that's fun. But what happens if I play for a little longer and get stronger? Well, this brings us back to the curve. This game gets so much easier once you start doing more damage at about over 3 hours. At some point I stopped taking the enemies seriously and started having fun with them. Don't they just look so cute when they fall over? Even the nightmare is a bit of a joke by the end of the game. Morgan is just that good, I guess. Well, we aren't quite there yet. I'm trying to get back into the office so I can watch the rest of the video, but this purple mimic is kicking my ass. Jesus Christ. Whatever, I deal with it. Let's watch the video. So Past Morgan wants us to destroy the station by self-destructing it. And you decide to do it since you just don't have a choice? I don't want to die, but I can't do anything about it. I was really disappointed I couldn't just tell January I didn't want to do this. I mean, you can just murder him if you want, but then you find a sticky note on his body that tells you what the video said. Destroy the station. This is where the arming key is. So why did I need to go to the hardware labs? January has no clue what he's doing. So arming keys, right? So in order to destroy the station, you need 2 arming keys. One belonging to you, and one belonging to your brother. You don't have yours anymore because Alex destroyed it, which means you have to go make a new one. Apparently you hid the plans for it in a place called Deep Storage, which is a weird place to hide something considering that's the place where all the data of Talos 1 is kept. Maybe Alex is just bad at finding things hiding in plain sight? But whoa, you can't just go to Deep Storage. You have to travel halfway across the station to get to that place. And of course the main elevator doesn't work. That means you have to go through a bunch of other places to get there first. So first we have to go to a place called Psychotronics, which is where they researched neuromods or something. In Psychotronics, you get an item called the Psychoscope. The Psychoscope is basically a camera that you wear in your face. This lets you scan enemies to gain information about them, like how humans are immune to EMPs. It's true. It also lets you get some of the abilities that your enemies use. Humans have no abilities. So you can get some active powers like shooting projectiles out of your mind, or turning into a nearby object. Awesome. And you can use this to gain access to places you wouldn't be able to get to normally. There are some downsides to this, though. The first one is that the turrets will attack you if you use enough Typhon neuromods. If you use 1 alien ability, they don't care. 2, they still don't care. But 3, oh, they'll kill you for 3, and they kill you very fast. The other downside is that the nightmare enemy is much more likely to appear. I was just waiting for the 3-minute timer to go down so I could play the game, but then the nightmare decided to just shoot me through the wall. Once again, this scared the shit out of me. Well, in my playthrough I didn't actually use any Typhon neuromods because the game kinda tells you it's a bad idea. January literally says there may be side effects you can't see.
There might be worse consequences I can't yet see.
Well, it turns out he's actually kind of wrong. There are no other side effects. So if you're playing this game, I wouldn't worry about using them. It's just kind of fun. So we go a bit further into Psychotronics and we find my favorite character in the game, Aaron Ingram. No, I'm kidding. No one has ever thought that. So this is where you find out that Talos 1 is taking prisoners and killing them. So why are they being killed? Well, we saw early on that when a mimic kills a human, it causes the mimic to multiply. And when you kill any Typhon, you get exotic material, which just so happens to be the key ingredient in neuromods. Well, besides metal, but we'll get to that later. So Talos 1 is taking prisoners in from Earth and killing them to make neuromods. A person died to create each and every neuromod in the game. But I don't really know why. I've searched throughout the entire game and I cannot figure out why they were killing people. I mean, why haven't they tried using animals instead? That's still pretty screwed up, but it would probably be better, right? I don't know. So let's assume it has to be a human. Why not? Why are these people alive? Getting killed by a mimic has to be the worst way to go. They stab you through your entire face. Why can't they just send in a dead body and let the mimic multiply off that? But even if the person has to be alive, why not sedate them or drug them? Why are we just sending in fully conscious people to get stabbed in the face and just stare at them as they die through the window? This is bizarre. There's no science here. Psychotronics? More like psychopaths. Huh? Huh? Also, this game loves to emphasize neuromods as if they're the best thing ever. I mean, having tons of people be super strong and smart would be incredible, but I think we're overlooking the most powerful inventions here. Throughout the game, you find these machines called recyclers and fabricators. You can use the recyclers by placing any item at all into this giant red thing, and then that item is broken down into its base components. This means that you should just pick everything up in this game. Banana peels, wrenches, biohazardous waste. Everything is fuel for you. You can then use these components in the fabricator, which is basically a giant 3D printer. You'll need a blueprint for whatever you want to make, place the components, and that's it. You can make lots of different items, but you'll usually be making shotgun shells or neuromods. The game never addresses this, but these machines would be the most important invention in the history of mankind. Now, having every human be geniuses and live forever would be pretty huge, but the world would be screwed. Not only would recyclers completely eliminate all landfills, but we would have the best way ever to get rid of nuclear waste. You just put it in the slot and it's gone. You can put in biohazardous waste to make medicine. Wow. This is the kind of invention we would be hoping for if we had people live forever and be geniuses. But we have it anyway. This would be the most important invention ever created, but you use it to make bullets. There's just something ironic about that. Speaking of bullets, I have an issue with how the fabricators are designed. Gameplay-wise, I mean. So in order to make neuromods, you need lots of exotic material, but also a lot of metal. Well, it's actually called mineral materials, but I'm gonna call it metal because that's what it is. So the only way to get exotic material is by killing the Typhons. Now this might seem like good design at first, the more enemies you kill, the stronger you become, right? But it doesn't work like that in practice. Remember how it took me 28 shots to kill a single enemy before? Well, if I want more ammo, then I need to spend more metal, but I'm not getting any metal back. I'm just getting exotic material, which is quickly becoming worthless to me because I need to save my metal to make ammo. I have 16 times the amount of exotic material that I have metal, and the exotic material is the stuff that's supposed to be rare. This creates a situation where fighting enemies is pointless since it can only result in me losing resources, not to mention stuff like medkits, armor points. I realized this midway through the game, and I started only fighting enemies that I had to fight, otherwise I just ran past everyone. So that's my biggest problem with the game. This part makes no sense to me. So anyway, we still have to do a bunch of crazy shit to get the first armor key. We need to go get it from deep storage where we hid it, but the door is still locked. The door can only be unlocked through a certain person's voice saying the password, so now we have to go to crew quarters and find voice samples to trick the lock. This game loves to tease the player with the idea that they are going to have some sort of AI helper. Like every human I find is fucking crazy. They run at you and they explode their head at you. What the fuck? January says he'll help the player, but all he does is give the main quest. That's not very helpful. I could do that myself. I don't even know what this guy is trying to do. In the crew quarters, you finally meet a human who hasn't lost their mind.
M.U.? M.U.
He even said he'll let me in the kitchen if I get him his cooking award from his room. That's kinda weird. Whatever. Hey man, I'm back. He'll even let me into the freezer if I fix the water system.
No water. Need to find another regulator.
Could you really not do that by yourself? What a nice guy to have oh, no. He is not very helpful either. He blames you for everything, even though it's not your fault at all. Like, I didn't make aliens, guy. I don't know how this could be my fault. This prick also leaves recycler grenades just strapped to random walls throughout Talos 1. I have no idea how he gets these or how he even gets around, or how he knows where you are. It seems like he knows where you're going before you do. He doesn't even have a gun. How does he deal with the Typhon? And look at him. He's fat and probably old and kinda ugly. God damn it, I hate this guy. I traveled back in time just to see what he would do if I shot him. He just kinda walks away angrily. Apparently that must work on the Typhon. Doesn't work too well on me though. Whatever. I end up finding another sane person, and this one is actually sane.
If you can.
We need her voice to open the door to deep storage, so hearing her talk is actually enough for us to get the door open. Wait, where are you going? Why will nobody help me? Anyway, we get the key for deep storage and make our way in. Alex immediately locks you in because he's an asshole and I don't like him at all. He tells you it's safe here.
It should be safe in deep storage.
It's not.
I hope you believe me.
At this point, we need to figure out where Morgan hid his backup for his arming key. Presumably, it will be in a hidden place that nobody would be able to find except him. So how will Morgan find out where it is? He doesn't know where it is, right? Because he lost his memory. Well, it turns out he just hid it sort of in plain sight next to all the other hard drives. It's just kind of sitting there. I don't know how Alex didn't find this either. But at this point, I'm not really that surprised anymore. I don't think that guy could find anything. I don't know. Well, we're still stuck in deep storage, right? I guess that's the end of the game. There's nowhere else we can go. Can't use any of the computers, and the door is still locked, so I guess that's it. Well, thankfully, someone comes to save us. Remember the girl that just didn't want to talk to me in crew quarters? She just kinda opens the door and lets you out. Yeah, that's it. I don't know why the lockdown doesn't affect this door, but for some reason it doesn't. Now, I do have to find a way back into the station from space, but still, I think Alex probably should have seen this one coming too. I mean, it was literally the only way I could have gotten out of here, but for some reason it never crossed his mind. I feel like this whole video is just me making fun of Alex, but what else is there to say? The real question is, what happens to Daniel's show after this? You never see her again, but you also can't find her body. It's just not in the game. I like to think she probably made her way back to Earth. So now, we finally get introduced to one of the actual characters in this game. This dude managed to get himself stranded in space inside a cargo container, which is kind of what we did, except we were smart and we brought a spacesuit with us. This guy didn't do that. I would say it's kind of dumb for a scientist to forget that there's no oxygen in space, but whatever. For some reason they give you the choice to kill this guy if you want to, although I don't know why. You can either choose to open his door and just instantly kill him for no reason, or you can send him back to the station. I chose to kill him. I think it was the obvious choice, really. He didn't seem like a real scientist to me. No, I'm kidding. I'll actually save this guy. Let's go see that scientist we just saved. I'm gonna go through the exact same door he just used, and he's not here. Where did he go? Why are the lights off? Why is your name Austin Cool? Is that a real name? What is going on? Oh, wait! We've actually found friendly NPCs! I've been looking the whole game for this. They tell you have to kill a few Typhons for them to let you in, which I do. And what do you know, they actually let you in. So at this point we finally have interactions with the crew, and it's kinda awkward, actually. Everyone is sorta hunched over in this weird pose forever. I honestly thought my game had glitched the first time I got here, but no, this is working as intended. According to Arcane Studios, this is how people stand. Really, the humans on the ship feel more alien than the actual aliens. Seriously, if you don't think this is a weird pose, I dare you to stand up right now and just stand like this for like more than 5 seconds and act like it's not really uncomfortable.
Have you seen that golden stuff they make?
Yep, these people are out of their minds.
Fills me with dread.
Oh, here's this guy we rescued. I guess they let him in, but not me. Okay. So now we have to keep talking to the Chief of Security, Elazar, who's probably going to be fired soon. She wants us to build turrets, and we don't really have any option but to build turrets. So we're gonna go build turrets. So we set up the turrets, open the door, and kill all the aliens. I don't know why they needed my help with this, to be honest. So I guess my reward for doing this is that I can just leave these people, which is pretty good, honestly. So I guess... Whoa, keep your fucking distance, okay? I'm carrying. Get the fuck away from me! Oh, so this door isn't locked. I guess that's why they wanted to get out of here. I don't know why this door isn't locked though, because all the other doors are locked. So our objective is to get rid of the lockdown on Talos 1, even though it seems a bit ineffective to me. You find this scientist lady called Illusion. She used to be your girlfriend or something before you lost your memory a lot. She tells you can disable the lockdown by restarting the power to the whole station. I think this is a pretty good plan and probably realistically work, but wouldn't Alex just be able to put the station in lockdown again? Nothing is really stopping him from just being a dick and spamming lockdowns on us. Well, we restart the power to the station and it works. The lockdown is no longer on. Alex contacts you and he kinda has a change of heart. It seems like he's realized that he probably shouldn't be trying to murder his little brother for no reason, so I don't really think Alex is the bad guy anymore. I just think he's kinda dumb. I mean, everything in this game has told me that, I just never really realized it. Oh, look who it is! The guy who's been trying to kill us the whole game.
Over now.
Well, he sets off one last grenade and turns it to a bunch of balls right in front of me. Okay. Alternatively, you can also choose to spare him.
We are over now.
There's really nothing I can say to add anything to the scene. It's just perfect. So then I started doing a few side quests, and then I started regretting doing them.
Thank you, sir.
Because the people you
And
turn in
Morgan?
quests to are insane.
I owe you an apology. Once you vanished into the sim lab, Sarah asked me to try and
This guy just walks away from me while he's talking to
I
me.
should've worked harder.
I'm gonna kill everyone here after I'm done with this.
I'm sorry.
So you remember how we found out the scientists were killing prisoners for no reason? Well, it turns out Morgan was one of the people who was killing them. Actually, he was leading it, so he's the most responsible out of all of them. This recording also shows that he killed Lucian's father, which means that Morgan brutally killed this guy with an alien spider and then started dating his daughter. And this is before Morgan even lost his memories. This is just how he was. So for some reason, you have the option to show the recording to Lucian. Yeah, that seems like a great idea.
My father is right. You don't understand. Your father, mother, your
Yeah, she doesn't take it too well. I wonder why.
Understand family.
Well, she is right about one thing. I will never understand my brother.
Get the hell away from me.
Okay. You know what, I'm just gonna leave this whole station. These people are fucking weird. I'm done doing side quests for these guys. Alright, let me just buckle my seatbelt here. Alright. See you later, nerds. I'm gone. Huh. It's a bit darker in space than I would have thought. What? So then you go to Alex's office and watch another video featuring yourself, saying that Morgan's okay with everything. He knew his personality would be changed if he experimented on himself, but he did it anyway. He knew he was brutally executing civilians to make neuromods for no reason, but he did it anyway. Also, we learned of a new experimental way to kill the Typhon, which is using some sciencey device to instantly kill all of them. But first you need to scan the golden coral stuff. It's really fun. For some reason, Lucian contacts me and actually apologizes for getting mad at me for murdering her father. What? It hasn't even been like 10 minutes. She's already gotten over it. Why is everybody in this game insane? Whatever. So you go back to Alex's office again to submit your research when suddenly, Talos 1 is invaded by robots. No, seriously, this is really happening. See, this is a new type of operator. See, it looks like a normal one, kinda, but it shoots a laser. Except the laser doesn't do that much damage. I actually found these guys easier than the normal operators, so I guess they probably should have sent those ones up instead. So the TranStar division at Earth sends one guy and dozens of robots to Talos 1 to just kill everyone. But wait, let me tell you about this one guy first, okay? His name is Dahl. That's a bad start already. And oh my god, this guy is just so angry all the time. Oh, you can just really tell in his voice that he just hates you.
And you are running around like a nervous rat. I hear you, chewing wires and shitting in the walls. I pride myself in being prepared for the worst. But this is truly a masterpiece.
Yeah, I could say the same thing about your writing, dude. So now begins the effort to fight back against the robots, and I gotta say, this part of the game kinda sucks. Most enemies at this point are replaced by these laser operators, which, as I said, don't really do that much damage, but the annoying part about them is that they're only weak to the taser. If you don't have the taser, it can be pretty hard to fight them. Well, no, it's not hard, it just takes forever. Actually, this whole part of the game is annoying. You get like 5 side quests immediately just because of this guy Dahl. And it's like, well, you kinda gotta do them, right? If they're gonna make things easier for you, there's really no reason not to. So you can go back to deep storage to disable the tracking system on you, so he can't just see wherever you are, and well, yeah, you probably should do that. You also have the side quest of avoiding to kill Dahl, rewrite his memory so that he'll like you, have him pilot a shuttle back to Earth for you. I mean, yeah, you probably should do that too. It's just kinda tedious. I kept getting stuck at the part where you're supposed to rewrite his memories. I just couldn't figure out what I was supposed to do. No, that fails the quest too.
To think. There's nothing wrong with me. Please, Morgan!
By design,
What are you
I
doing?
can predict what you're going to do fairly often. And yet, this turn of events with Dahl, I'm impressed.
Oh, weird. I guess that's what I was supposed to do. None of this is really making any sense to me anymore, but whatever. I've dealt with Dahl. Finally, we can go back to Alex and figure out what to do with the Typhon. So now we get to make the big decision. Do we trust the experimental science weapon, or do we just blow up the station? Alex gives you his arming key, he makes this big speech about how he knows to do the right thing, and then BAM! Talos 1 is invaded again. This time it's by the biggest Typhon ever, the Apex Typhon. Yeah, I'm getting real tired of all these interruptions, game. I just want to talk to my brother in peace. Now you might be asking, what makes this guy so dangerous? Is it his size? No. This guy can go through walls. Although I don't think he's meant to. So yeah, dealing with the Typhon is definitely the priority now. So now we get to make a decision based on what I said earlier, either blow up the station or use that sciencey device that might work. Now what I didn't say before though is that it really doesn't matter. So you can basically do whatever you feel like at the end here because the ending to this game is so short that I just don't care. You do get a nice roll call ending on the shuttle though. Everybody is happy to see Morgan. Maybe too happy.
And myself. But
Dude, I literally killed your father. Why are you happy to see me?
who you have become. You have my father's strength.
What is that? Is that a curse? What the fuck does that mean? Oh god, let's get out of here. You know, I was talking a lot of shit about Dahl earlier, but he actually seems like the only guy who can actually get something done here. So, I'm sorry, Dahl. Let's be friends. Wait, can you hold on for a second, Dahl? I need to put my seatbelt on first. Oh! Never mind. The space is wider than I would have thought. So regardless of what happens, you get like a 15-second cutscene, maybe like 5 seconds of either Alex or Morgan talking, and that's it. Roll the credits. This is probably one of the shortest endings I've ever seen in a AAA game. But what's this? An after credits sequence?
It's finished.
So this is where the actual ending of the game takes place. I don't know why they chose to put it after the credits. Basically, everything gets revealed here. See, you're actually playing as a phantom, and what you've been seeing is a reconstruction based on Morgan's memories. Now they are very careful to avoid saying that it was all a dream, because that's never a satisfying ending and they knew that, but they kinda did anyway. So we know that something canonically happens, we just don't know what. Like, did the station get blown up? Or did he use the sciencey device to kill all the Typhon? We don't know. Is Morgan alive? Did he just kill everyone like me? I don't know. Most of the main characters you saw back on the station are here, in robot form, and it's kinda unclear if they're dead or not, so it's hard to say what actually happened. Like, maybe they died and this is how they're living on, or maybe this is just what Skype will look like in 200 years. I don't know. What we do know is that the Typhon invaded Earth, and it kinda looks like they won, but I don't know. They didn't seem that strong to me back on Talos 1. So here's where your choices start to matter. Kinda. All these characters here start to talk about the decisions you made on the ship, and if you help them or not. Luckily for us, I've been really good to everyone throughout the whole game, so I get the good ending. I get to make the choice whether or not to side with Alex, or just kill everyone here for no reason. Well, again, I don't really know if it matters, but endings proceed about as you'd expect. So if you choose to shake his hand, you kinda become a human for some reason. And if you decide to kill them all, then they die. Because you killed them. I kinda feel bad about that. Let's go back to the other ending. Yeah, that's better. So there's your ending. It commits to nothing, and I don't even know what happened. It left me with more questions than if there was no after credits sequence. Is anybody besides Alex alive? Is Morgan alive? Where is this scene taking place? Is it on Earth or Talos 1? We may never know. And we might not ever get a sequel to Prey either. Arcane's working on another new IP right now. This game is called Deathloop, and as of this video, we have no clue what it is. I think it's an FPS? I don't even know. So that's Prey. Pretty good game overall, but it's held back by some bizarre design decisions, as well as having the most unbelievable characters ever. It's definitely a game I'd recommend, but it's not my favorite game either. I want to say the first half of this game was actually some of the most fun I've ever had with the game, but the second half was just so bizarre. You can really tell when they started to run out of time with this one. I hope Arcane makes another try with this series though. I think a Prey 2 would be incredible, but I guess that's what people have been saying for a decade, right? Kinda.